Hello, everyone. I see there's a number of people here already. We're going to let the room fill up and we'll get started shortly.
I feel like this would be a good time for a house tour. Walk around the house with the laptop.
Guitar.
I'm not prepared for that, but
Neither am I.
this is sunroom. Everyone wants to see my sunroom. All right. Well, we do. Wow, look at this. We have 43, 44 people in the room here. That's pretty good, everybody.
Thank you all for joining.
Yeah, thank you all for joining and for taking some time out of your night. Perhaps some of you are sitting at the dinner table and letting us join you at dinner, or some of you just finished or haven't even thought about it. Maybe some of you raced home to get to this. So hopefully we will make it worth everyone's time. There are still people, those numbers are still going up. So we're just going to give it another 30 seconds or so. And then we'll get going.
What we should have arranged is for Rachel to be playing a little bit of background music right now. She's sitting right there.
I was thinking where I should position myself, and I thought that this would be the most appropriate place. It's really out of tune, though. It's bad.
I clearly didn't get the memo that I needed to have an instrument in my background because
Oh yeah, Chris does too. I didn't see.
got a guitar, yeah.
Come on, Mr. Gom. Let's get it done. Gotta have a trombone
Right.
somewhere.
I have my guitar, my violin, my piano, and my harp.
You just had to win, didn't you?
I did.
All right. On that note, we're going to get started because the
right.
numbers have evened off, and I think most people that are going to be here are here. So welcome everybody to our annual GHS Music Department Orientation Night. This is something we started doing quite a few years ago. We did it in person until COVID. And then briefly after COVID, we decided we wanted to get back together in person again. We did it for a year or two that way. And then we realized that actually it's probably more convenient for people just to go ahead and do this on Zoom. So thank you again for joining us. Whoops, there we go. We're going to each take a quick moment to introduce ourselves for those of you that don't know us, or maybe have one of us, your children have one of us as a teacher, but not the others. My name is Mark Gom. You can see all of the groups that I teach there. This is my 28th year here in Guilford High School, and 28th and a half if you include the half year of student teaching I did in 1993 back at the old high school. So it's a wonderful place to work, wonderful place to teach, wonderful town to live in, and I'm so happy to be here. Chris, you want to go next?
Well, sure. Back in 1993, I was not yet a student at Guilford High School. That came 2 years later. When at some point in 1999, I met Mark Gom as my teacher. But I have lived in Guilford since I was in second grade, and I have taught in Guilford my whole career. So this is my 20th year. My first 15 were actually at Adams doing the orchestra, and now I split my time between a morning doing some general music at Adams and the afternoons where I'm teaching the repertory orchestra, the symphony orchestra, and right now the elective I teach is the digital audio production course. And on to Rachel.
Hi, I'm Rachel Allen. I've been at GHS since 2019. I've been teaching since 1999. I was always here in Connecticut in the Westbrook area prior to coming to Guilford, and here we are. I direct all of the choirs here. I do the other electives that you see there right now. I'm teaching music theory and guitar along with the ensembles, and I am the music director for the theater department's musical productions in the spring. And I think that's about it for me.
Right. As the coordinator of this wonderful group, we've had all sorts of combinations of teachers over the years, and I've always been fortunate to work with wonderful colleagues. This is a dream team for sure. Starting off with some photos for you, things to look forward to. These are some of our big community events. As a music department, on the left-hand side of your screen, you see Wolsey Hall, which is the concert hall at Yale University. And one of our biggest concerts of the year will take place in March at that beautiful space. In the upper right-hand corner, you see the marching band ready for the Fair Parade, which is coming up this Saturday. I hope you'll join us on the sidelines and cheer on our students from the concert band and marching band, concert band and wind ensemble. And in the lower right-hand corner is a picture of our ensembles that perform at the tree lighting concerts, which take place at the Congregational Church. It's definitely one of the hottest tickets of the year. So be on the lookout for those. If you've never been to our tree lighting concerts in December, they're special. Really wonderful community event. If you've browsed our website, you've seen our mission statement. I'm not going to really go through this per se, but what I want to say about it is sort of what it boils down to, the three of us, and that's represented with this little diagram that we've had on our board on occasion, and that we really stress the community that is our department. So you'll see we're close partners with GHSTA, the Theater Arts Department, and each of our ensembles is its own community. And when we prepare for our performances, we're doing so together. We have a lot of collaboration between groups, moments where choir will perform with the orchestra, or where soloists from voices will sing with the jazz band, or where string players will join in the wind ensemble. We really do have it's a wonderful team effort of sorts. And your kids who are now part of this program are part of a really wonderful community. If I do say so, I really feel like these are the best kids in the school. I have two daughters, both of which have been here at Guilford High School, one of whom is a senior, one of whom graduated a couple years ago, and they went through the high school, they went through the music department and found some of their closest friends, and their people here as part of the music department. And we really want that for all of our students. Let's see. I think you've probably all figured out where our website is, and I know you all can find your way around a website. But I do want to point out one or two things which are easy to miss, and that I know parents really appreciate. If you've got a phone handy, you can kind of explore this for yourself just by scanning the QR code. But I'm going to probably ruin that for you right now by going to the actual website. And so here are all the sort of usual things that you would expect to find. You have links to all of the teachers' pages, our mission statement, I do try to keep this next page, which has sort of current events up and current. I'm not amazing at that, but when things are important, I do put them up here. The one thing I did want to show you was this column on the left-hand side of upcoming events. You perhaps have noticed on the main high school page, there's a similar sort of listing of events happening at the high school that sort of automatically populate. Well, if you go to this page, all of the music events populate there, or at least all of the music events that are happening at Guilford High School. So for example, it has the music back to school night tonight. It does not have the parade on there because that's not happening at the high school. But you can see when some of our other events coming up are the first chorus concert of the year, the first wind ensemble concert of the year. And as the dates pass, those will all update automatically. So if you're ever not sure, you've lost your calendar, you need to figure out what time something starts, this is up to date and is a great place to look. I'd also call your attention to some other things here and encourage you just to explore some of the links on this site. Okay. At this point, I'm going to pass things off to Ms. Allen.
All right. Over on the left, communication. Communication is so important for being involved in the music program because, as Mr. Gam has already demonstrated, we're doing a lot of stuff. There's a lot going on all the time. You may have questions. We are here for you if you have questions. You can see our email addresses are over there on the side. You can always find them on the school website like you would with any other teacher if you don't access them through this. Please reach out to us. If you have a concern, if you have an issue, we love to be proactive about trying to help solve problems before they actually happen. So please reach out to us. And we also encourage, we encourage students to advocate for themselves. Being now at the high school level, we try to encourage those habits, you know, becoming a grown-up, speaking up for yourself. So if a student has a conflict or a concern about a performance or a requirement or their grade, we're happy, obviously, we're happy to talk to parents as well, but I also want to put in a pitch for encouraging your child to advocate for themselves in addition. So you can always reach us by email. And then if you look over on the right-hand side, Mr. Gam's already shown you the website. Each of our classes has a Google Classroom that the students are enrolled in. They can use that to access resources. I post things like sometimes I'll put up copies of music and practice resources for the chorus students, things for my guitar class, things like that. Reminders about concert dates, links, all the links that you saw on the website, students can access through Google Classroom oftentimes. So that's there. Email. We use your parent emails that are in PowerSchool to send notifications home. So if your email is correct in PowerSchool, you should be getting periodic emails from us about things like, hey, Wednesday night's music department information night, please follow this link. Or we've got a concert coming up next week and we need some help with X, Y, and Z, et cetera, et cetera. You'll get emails from us periodically. Social media, if you are on social media, I highly encourage you to follow our music boosters because they do a great job of publicizing and posting pictures and videos of all the fun things that we do throughout the year. The Jazz Ensemble also has an Instagram page. I think that's still going, and Voices has an Instagram page. So if you search for them, I'm sure you'll be able to find those as well. It's a fun way for us to share what we're doing and publicize it outside of school. And then Remind is an app that you can download for free that when we travel, we use this as a way to stay in contact with students without having to exchange personal phone number information. It's basically exactly like a text messaging system, but without sharing actual contact info. So that is something that we do when we're out and about that you might hear about more related to travel. So I think that's it for the communication page. On to the courses that we offer. We have 3 large ensembles. between the three of us, Mr. Gom has the concert band, Mr. Jones does repertory orchestra, and I have the mixed chorus. Those are our larger ensembles, and then we have those are ones that anyone can join. They're not auditioned. Students can sign up and participate in those classes. Large ensembles that go by recommendation or audition are the wind ensemble, symphony orchestra, and concert choir. Those are also big. They're similar in size, but do require an audition or recommendation from a director. And then our small ensemble audition ensembles include the jazz ensemble and voices. And the asterisk there for any of you that have dreams of these ensembles in your future, check that asterisk. You need to make sure that you leave room in your schedule to also participate in a large ensemble in addition to the small select ensemble. And the reason for that is this. The reason for that is multiple. One of those things, to me, the first most important reason is I feel like if you are a student who has risen to the level to be in one of these elite ensembles, that in a way you almost owe a debt of service to the other ensembles that got you there. So part of it to me is really is that, but educationally, it's also a completely different experience to be in a large ensemble than it is to be in a small one. And they're both really valuable for their own reasons. So the participation in those ensembles are required for those among other reasons, but I think that gives you a bit of an idea about that. And students make it work. They make it work. Sometimes it's hard, sometimes it's tricky, but like with scheduling, always, it's just about prioritizing what you need to do and what you want to do. Other class offerings you can see there. We offer music theory. Right now I'm teaching basic music theory. In other years, I'll teach AP music theory. Guitar 1 and 2 are happening this year. And as Mr. Jones mentioned earlier, digital audio production is a really cool class that he teaches with all kinds of cool technology and microphones and laptops and all kinds of things I don't know anything about that I think he's going to talk about a little bit later. And then can you go back for 1 second? I almost forgot the little don't forget in the corner. Our extracurricular ensemble. So sports band has been meeting for the last couple of weeks, and they play in the stands at the football games, and they add so much energy and fun to the athletic events. Chamber ensembles, Mr. Jones, I don't know if you want to chime in about that at all. And then the pit orchestra for the spring musical, all those are extracurriculars.
And a quick note from our questions and answers. The small ensembles, that is jazz ensemble and voices, are a period within the school day, and which is different from maybe select choir, select orchestra, and wind ensemble from Adams. And yes, chamber ensembles will be starting up probably in, I'd say, early mid-October. And that is again be an after-school activity.
Thank you.
Sure. And there was one more actually.
Oh.
All of the information from for the auditions for those select ensembles will get released in the new year. So 2026, that'll start coming out. And if in the meantime your students want to get ready for it, they can take lessons, they can practice a bunch. All right, back to you, Rachel.
Thank you. Those are all good things I didn't mention. Select ensemble requirements. Oh, there we go. Auditions, recommendations are happening after the new year. Materials for the auditions, we'll distribute those. We share all of it with our classes, all of our classes, and kids will spread the word to get those audition materials out to people who are interested. The repertoire, as you can see, the repertoire is college level. It's serious stuff. And the performance expectations are the same. It is very demanding. It's, to quote Ms. Mulqueen in the theater department, it's a varsity sport. So it's not easy. It takes a lot of hard work, but it's well worth the effort. Students must re-audition every year. You're not guaranteed a repeat. You need to earn your spot every year. So everybody auditions every year, even if they're a repeat member. Okay. And here is a typical concert calendar year. We have Fair Day Parade coming up this weekend, and we've got our fall concerts in October. December, We have a couple of winter concerts that happen at the high school, in addition to the big famous tree lighting concerts at the Congregational Church. Each of those concerts involves different ensembles. They don't all perform at all of these, of course. January, February, we have town band. Town band combines with wind ensemble, and that's January. We have a Meals on Wheels concert that's really a lot of fun in early February that benefits the Guilford Meals on Wheels, that involves some of our select ensembles and symphony orchestra, and it's a great time. And then the band jamboree happens at that time as well. That is our full district getting together with all the band students from so 5 through 12. March, we have Woolsey Hall, you saw the picture of earlier. Our spring musical also happens at that same time, and the String Festival, again, a district-wide festival for all of our string players. April is typically when we have a travel opportunity is happening. That usually happens in April. Then May and June is our end of the year concerts. Voices has their showcase, which is more of a coffee house kind of vibe than a concert. It's a really fun time. And then, of course, we have graduation where our instrumentalists will play. And then in the summer, there's always an opportunity to play in the town band. So that's a typical performance year. What do we do if there is a conflict with a concert? That goes back to my first slide, which is communication. Just reach out to us as soon as you know you have a conflict. If that contract came home on the first day of school and you looked at it and said, oh boy, we have tickets to go to the Netherlands on that exact day. I don't know, whatever it happens to be. If you know there's a conflict that already exists, the sooner you tell us, the sooner we can start making plans, making arrangements around the conflict. If there's, of course, a conflict that you can't anticipate, like a sickness, the answer is still the same. As soon as you're able to let us know about it, let us know and we'll work around it. If there's a sporting event, we try to avoid those conflicts wherever we can, but as you know, weather can change the sports schedule on any given day. So sometimes conflicts happen. However, if a student says, I have a soccer game and it's on the same night as the concert, we say, well, what time is it? Maybe you can get here. Maybe if we push your ensemble to a different time in the lineup, we try to accommodate wherever we can. What am I forgetting? If a student has an excused absence, like an illness that they obviously have no control over, we'll create a makeup assignment for an excused absence so that they can make up that grade. It's obviously not the same experience as being in the performance, but we try to do the best we can to make an authentic makeup for that grade, because performances do count towards the students' grades.
Ms. Allen, can I just
Yes.
in for a second and go back briefly to the sports conflicts. It's part of our philosophy that we want students to be able to play the sports that they love, be part of the athletic department, and do music. And we're very fortunate that our athletic department supports us in that as well. And there is an agreement amongst between the athletic department and the music department that if and when a conflict arrives with a performance and a game contest of some sort, that a student can choose one or the other without penalty from either. So a student, again, the important thing is what Rachel mentioned. All of this needs to be clearly communicated to both coach and music director. However, if a student opts to do a game over a performance, there may be an alternate assignment, but there's no penalty. If a student opts to do a musical performance instead of going to a game, there's no penalty. They can't be, despite what some other conflicts might cause, there's no benching, there's no missing another game. And that's an ongoing agreement with that we have with the music department. But in all cases, that can all be voided if students don't communicate. So we don't want to let a coach know that there's a concert happening when a game is about to happen. And likewise, we don't want to find out about a conflict with a sporting event right before a performance. So that's if students are acting in good faith on that front, we really do everything we can to support.
Cool. Thank you. What do students wear for concerts? That question is answered in our handbook, which if we move to the next slide, we can show you. This is a cutout straight out of the GHS music handbook. And you can see that each the different groups of ensembles have different concert attire. So you can refer back to that at any time in the handbook. You find your students' ensemble, for instance, my mixed chorus, which is mostly ninth graders. They're wearing all black, whether it's a skirt or dress or pants, they're wearing all black. My concert choir, those tenors and basses are wearing white shirts and ties. So it's different for each ensemble. Just make sure and check which one is yours. And depending on a student's preferences as to pants, skirts, dresses, etc., you have a few different options that will get us to the desired visual image that we're looking for. So you can check that out if you need to. And I always tell the students, don't wait until like my own children used to do, don't wait until the day of the concert to tell your parents that you need black pants. Because they're definitely running to the department store at 4:30 in the afternoon to buy black pants is not what anybody wants to be doing. If you have any issues acquiring the appropriate attire, please let us know. We can seek out ways to help solve that problem for you. I know particularly with the younger boys, dress shoes can be a burden because I have two boys and they went through shoe sizes. They changed shoe sizes every 4 months. We don't want you going out and buying 1,000 pairs of dress shoes, but we do want everybody to look professional and uniform. So if you have any concerns, please do let us know so we can help you out with that. Anything anybody wants to add about concert attire?
Yeah, I'm just going to quickly jump in because there's something we should probably put this on the in the handbook too. But for those students that are participating in our parades, like the one happening this weekend, students have a school issued green polo shirt, school issued black shoes, which can be worn if students choose. They can be worn for concerts as well. But they also need to provide their own khaki pants, a dark belt, and dark socks for the parade. So again, just what Rachel said, if anyone has any issues acquiring any of those items, let me know. I think we're getting close with the shirts and the shoes right now, but I know there may be some folks running out at the last minute to get some khaki pants. So thank you for handling that.
Mr. Jones, that's you.
All right, and Steve had a question a lot earlier. How does one join the pit ensemble? Once the musical has been selected and Mr. Gom has had some time to sit with the scores, he will be figuring out what instruments we need and get that information passed out to everyone. February, is that when that happens, Mark?
It would probably be sooner than that. It would be happening around the same time that students are auditioning for the musical itself, which is January. And yeah, and so that just depends. That depends an enormous amount on what the musical is. Some musicals involve the whole gamut of orchestral and wind and percussion instruments, and others, may only have a few instruments. So that varies year to year. So, but I spread the word far and wide for anyone interested in that to talk to me. And again, depending on what the needs of that ensemble are, there may or may not be auditions.
There we go. When it comes time for concerts, we do record most of our concerts. We get them done in a couple of different ways. Some of our kind of home game concerts at the awesome PAC, we might record those ourselves. And the Boosters has bought an awesome high quality video camera and some cableage and microphones to do that. Some of our off-site locations are more complicated, perhaps a jazz band recording. Boosters has been very kindly picking up the bill for professional audio engineers to come in and to do those concerts. We do have a YouTube channel, so if you want to go back and just kind of get a taste of what's been going on in the last couple of years, or go relive a concert, if you're a 11th or 12th grade parent, they're all still collected up there. And we'll typically send out an email also after each concert, after we've had the dust settles and we have a chance to edit the videos and put them up. We'll usually be sending off a quick note to everyone that they are ready to go. In addition to the courses that we have and kind of the co-curricular and extracurricular offerings at Guilford High, we do encourage everyone to kind of branch out to get to know the other musicians in the area. This could be in a number of ways. First of all, private instruction, of course, is going to grow any of the students playing. Just that one-on-one time with someone who's thinking just about your student and how to take them to the next step. That's so helpful. Talk to any of the three of us. If you're looking for a teacher, we have lists, we have connections, we know who's around, and it can get you all their contact information. The Greater New Haven Youth Ensembles, that's the concert orchestra, the youth orchestra, and I think that's what they're running right now for instrumental. Great, that's right in downtown New Haven. The Elm City Girls Choir, the Shoreline Youth Symphony Orchestra, which I run in Madison, CMEA and regional all-state festivals for the 9th, 10th graders. This, if you haven't done it before in the middle school level, it's the same kind of thing, except our region feels like it gets bigger. We've got 4 grades competing for it. It's a really good challenge, just a nice goal for students to set, to say, like, I'm going to prepare this challenging piece. You get help, you work toward it, and then assuming that you can make it through the regional festival, you can start considering whether you'd like to compete for the whole state, for the all-state orchestra. ACDA festival, similar. There's actually also an ASTA festival that I should share for strings. Sports band, which Mr. Gom mentioned. GHS theater arts, whether it's for either of the plays, the play or the musical. And then as you start putting your plans together for summer, if your student might be interested in either a week-long camp or a sleepaway for a couple of weeks or a month, give us a buzz, and we might have some ideas of what are your students' goals, what do they want to get out of it, how intense, how balanced do they want the summer activities with the music. We can certainly kind of help steer your student into a couple options. And as summer comes up, we have a scholarship fund that helps students either pursue a new summer camp, or if they are interested in maybe picking up private instruction, the boosters and previous donations are collected and distributed at our last concert. So we will be sending information out for that in late spring. And I think at this point, am I supposed to pass things off to Stephanie? Are you around? Were we able to get our
All right, so
worked out?
here's where things are going to get interesting, everybody, because something did go wrong with our oh good, here we go, hold on. Something did go wrong with our getting Stephanie Lim connected to this platform here. So I've actually got her on FaceTime, and I'm going to put the FaceTime up to the screen, and hopefully everyone will be able to hear and see her. And if not, then I will do my best to sit in for her. Stephanie, I'm going to suggest that you turn down the volume on yours, because I can hear myself talking through. I don't know if there's a way to do that. Okay.
But you can't hear me anymore.
If you turn down the volume on your computer, yes, you'll still, okay.
Okay.
All right, I think we got it, folks. Here we go. Everybody.
Hi. Okay. So I'm Stephanie. I have 2 kids in the GHS music program, one in with Mr. Gum, the other one with Mr. Jones, and then actually my daughter is taking music theory with Miss Allen. So really, we're immersed. All to say, so I am the president of the Boosters, and I would just encourage everyone to get involved and to become a member. So Mark has put all the relevant information on this slide. If you just go to the Music Boosters site, you can learn all about it. But we basically just take your donation, any small amount would help, and we pay for ancillary expenses that the music department has, and we support students. We buy instruments, lessons, at the end of the year, gifts for seniors. So it really, it's very nice. It goes back to your kids. So go to the link and please become a member.
Right.
Thanks, Mark.
Thank you. And thank you everyone for that little experiment. A couple things I'll say, and then I think Chris is going to take over again, about the meaning of membership. Membership in this particular organization really is 100% up to all of you. So for some people, membership is going to be becoming one of our board members and supporting us in that way. For some folks, it's going to be making yourself available to help out as perhaps an usher at a concert, or helping out with a fundraiser, or so on and so forth. And for others, it may just be giving a small contribution to the organization. We value any and all contributions, whether it's of time or resources, and we're grateful for all the tremendous support we get. So don't feel like you don't need to come to the meetings, but we invite you to. You're welcome to come and participate at whatever level you want. You don't need to give any money to our organization, but we do promise to put it to good use. So thank you for that. All right, Chris, now I'm going to let you take over.
All right, we thought we'd throw a couple of fun visuals in here to kind of catch what Boosters has done for us. On the bottom left is some of our instruments. When an instrument becomes in need, such as this year, our basses, we managed to have 12 bassists at Guilford High and needed suddenly to get some more instruments. Boosters were there to pick up a couple instruments. We have a picture of Wolsey Hall. I think you can kind of get a sense of the size of that building and understand that the finance for that come through Boosters. On the top left, you can see our GHS Music Care Kit. For a lot of students, the performance arts wing becomes kind of a home away from home. They run their school day and then they stick around, and they've got a play rehearsal, they've got a performance happening later in the day, they're off caroling with voices, and they barely leave the school. And the Boosters has funded a little, like, the medicine cabinet, obviously not the medicine, but like all those things that you could need in your home away from home, as our wing often becomes. And then on the right is our recently made over recording studio. Thank you very much for the purchases of the equipment for students who want to either get in there and jam as a band, or do some recording or some audio creation. Again, much of that was funded from the donations of the Boosters. All right, and I think I'm on for this one too as well, right, Mark? If you are interested, please do consider chaperoning any of the field trips. It's really helpful. Assisting with fundraisers when it's time to either be counting up the stuff, separating out the oranges from the grapes, and maybe washing a car or something like that. Marching band needs stuff brought around. They need waters. They need, I don't know what else marching band needs, because I've never marched in a parade before. Then when it's time for our December concerts, our tree lighting, our students are there all night, and they need some food to keep them going, and just having a couple parents man or woman those spaces would be awesome. So take a second to scan on the bottom if you haven't yet, and join in any of the ways that Mark was talking about.
All right. I'm going to join in now and talk a little bit about travel with the music department. Travel has been a bit of a tradition for us going back many, many years. And we have done trips to various parts of the country and across the globe. Last year, we had a wonderful trip to Italy. 2 years before that, as you can see in this photo here, we had a wonderful trip to Washington, D.C. And we have gone to Spain, to New Orleans, to Disney, to
New York City, Boston.
Yes, New York, Boston, Prague, Salzburg, Vienna, just a number of wonderful places, and it's a great way to experience new cultures, to study the music of some wonderful places outside of our little New England bubble, and so we really enjoy giving that opportunity to our students. As a sort of rule, we take overnight trips every 2 years, every other year. This is an off year for overnight trips, so there will not be an overnight trip this year. The following year, there will be an overnight trip in the April vacation window that will be open to everyone in the music department. It will likely be somewhere within the country, but we haven't even talked about where that might be yet. So, and it would probably be 5 to 7 days exploring a city or an area of the country, perhaps giving concerts or perhaps going to concerts and other related events. So as you can imagine, sorry, I actually should take a step back. 2 years from there, we will do an international trip of some kind with our select ensembles. And that's why last year we were in Italy. So our goal for everyone, the one thing that we can promise to everyone is that at one point, if you are in the music department for 4 years, you will have at least one opportunity to do an overnight trip and several other opportunities to do day trips. So this year, we will have some kind of day trip, most likely to either Boston or New York. We've been throwing out ideas to each other about what concert we might go see or what type of venue we might want to explore. Haven't come up with the final answer on that yet, but there will likely be something that is open to all of our musicians this year, but it will only be a day trip. However, we do start planning and fundraising for our larger trips right away. So the way fundraising works in our musical groups is that the fundraisers that we do are specifically for students to raise money to help fund their own individual travel. So I maintain a spreadsheet with each student, and I track their work and our fundraisers. And if their profit on a particular fundraiser is $100, then that money gets held by Music Boosters. But when that student goes to travel, that $100 comes off of their individual price ticket. And students can bank their fundraising dollars from year to year. So a student who's in 9th grade right now could fundraise their freshman year, fundraise their sophomore year, their junior year, and then their senior year, which is the next time we'll do a big international trip. Those students that all of the money from all of those years of fundraising could come off of that trip senior year. So we do everything we can to make our travel affordable, in addition to scholarships and things of that nature, multiple opportunities to fundraise. The two fundraisers that we're going to be doing this year are seen on the screen. We have our annual fruit sale. We're going to be using a different company this year, but the concept is still the same, where we'll be able to sell oranges and grapefruit and things of that sort. The company that we're using has a very easy to use app, and so everything can be done online. It should be a really smooth, easy fundraiser, and the product is also excellent and comes at a time of year when everyone loves the taste of good fresh fruit. The other fundraiser we're doing, we actually did for the first time last year, to raise money for our Italy trip. The tour company that ran our Italy trip is allowing us to do this fundraiser on an off year, and essentially we're raffling off a weekend in Europe. I believe it's 3 nights in either London or Paris. And there are specific weekends, there are holiday weekends, where the winner will get to choose from. The raffle tickets are, I believe, $10 each, or 3 raffle tickets for $25. And yeah, again, any raffle tickets that students sell, that money will get collected and put in an account specifically for them whenever they choose to travel, whether it's a day trip to Boston this year, or whether it's a trip to Paris their senior year, if that's where we to go. And yeah, and the tickets to Paris and London are real. They're legitimate. It's the winner gets hotel accommodations and airfare to Europe. So that's a really nice thing. We raised, I believe we raised $15,000 last year with that fundraiser alone, which was huge. So I'm not seeing any questions come up about the fundraising, so I think we'll move on. And of course, more specific information about each of these fundraisers will come home soon. The fruit fundraiser will be the first thing that people see. Well, it's hard to believe, but this is the end of the formal part of our presentation. We'll give you all a few moments if you have questions that we didn't answer that you want to toss in the chat. We can certainly take a moment to answer those. As both Rachel and Chris said, we want to make ourselves accessible to you and to students, and we always welcome questions via email, phone calls, what have you. So I am seeing a few Q&As. Can we go? Okay, I've got one question that says, can we go to New Orleans next year?
Sure, go ahead.
I would love to go to New Orleans. We did a wonderful trip to New Orleans. That was one of our trips, and the only thing that was dicey about it is that for whatever reason we decided to take a bus to New Orleans. We didn't fly, and it seemed like a good idea at the time. But the trip itself made up for it. Yeah, so okay, I'm seeing another question pop up here. Okay, now we're just getting suggestions. Now we want to go to Hawaii. And another question about what the auditions for the elite groups are like. That's a great question. So I can only speak for myself, but I think Rachel and Chris have a similar philosophy. We try to make the auditions professional, but also informal and educational. So I do my auditions in person. I believe both Rachel and Chris do recordings. Is that correct? Okay, so
Recordings typically,
Rachel
and if
does.
anyone wants to come and do it in person because they're gonna obsess over doing 100 takes, then I'm happy to meet if that's better to do in person.
Got it. So both Chris and Rachel offer students the opportunity to either record their audition music at home or come in person. I prefer to do mine in person because it allows me to talk to every student, and so that it can be part audition and part coaching. And I don't often get that one-on-one time with students, but essentially they're given a month to prepare a piece of music, and perhaps some scales. I think the choral requirements are a little different. I want to say that there may be something that's student choice. Is that true, Rachel?
I give them one piece of choral music that they need to learn their part and sing along with the other parts. And then I give them, they do a 30-second, anything they want. Literally, it could be a pop song, just so that they can do something where they can show their true self and feel comfortable with something that shows their voice off. So I give them something formal and then something of their choice.
And
Yes.
similarly,
And go ahead, Chris.
Similarly, for the symphony auditions, the two selections, one of them is taken from the music that we play in repertory orchestra. We go through it in detail so that they know everything they need to know to play the piece. And the second piece is taken from that present symphony repertoire, like what the symphony orchestra is already playing, as a good little peek at what kind of challenges they would be up against if they're in the ensemble.
The other thing I'll add to that too, and I'm sure both Chris and Rachel would say the same thing. If there's a student out there who's interested in being in one of our select ensembles, gets the music, and wants help with that process, and wants coaching, wants help just knowing how to approach the kind of music that we pass out, we're available for that. Last year I spent multiple sessions with various students who were preparing their audition, and they would come in and do sort of a dry run and get some feedback, and then go back and rehearse on their own before their audition. So we try to give students the opportunity not only to put their best foot forward, but to learn from the experience of doing one of these auditions. Okay. I'm not seeing any new questions. Is anyone else seeing any new questions? Okay. Well, if the technology worked, this meeting has been recorded, and I will probably post it on YouTube and then send a link out to families that were not able to be here, or if there's anything you'd want to review. But with all of that being said, thank you all so much for joining us. We are all, I know I speak for Chris and Rachel, we're so excited for this year. Special shout out to the incoming 9th graders. I love this 9th grade class. They're fantastic and excited to spend many years with them. So with that, everyone, have a wonderful evening. Enjoy the fair over the weekend, and please give a wave to the band and wind ensemble as we march along on Saturday. All right. All right. Thank you, everyone. I'm going to figure out how I end this. I hit the end button. All right. Good night, all.
Have a great night, y'all.
Good night, Chris. Good night, Rachel.